But even as simple as like, hey, I'm going to come do something for you for free that I have a service of. And sometimes people are like, well, why would you do that? You're going to go broke. Because you're building those long-term relationships. And now that lady that you did her makeup for free told all of her girlfriends that she's at the country club with.
Yeah.
Or at the tennis club with, or at the gym with, or at Pilates with.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think a lot of young people miss in business. They see everything online, the jets, the helicopters, the big houses like I finally obtained. No one saw the hard work that I put in, the free information. I get paid to do the things that I don't get paid to do.
We all have the best time ever to start a small business.
If I'm not going to be 100% in, I'm not going to do it.
Come on, man, just be yourself.
Yeah,
and just show up as yourself.
If you don't realize what I'm really about, I'm about freedom, family, and my country.
Christina.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I didn't want to say anything. There was a couple coyotes over there before when we got started.
Don't scare me.
We'll make sure Matt takes care of them. God forbid, they threaten your life.
We can take the podcast to your lap. How's that?
Listen, I don't know if your husband will like that. He'll
be okay. He'll be on the other lap too.
We'll all be on Matt's lap.
Yes, we'll all be climbing Matt.
So, or the rock wall.
Yeah,
What do you think about the pit?
I'm loving it. It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
It's a total vibe. I love it.
I figured if they weren't going to build a wall, I could build a wall. Right?
Exactly.
You asked me before we got started. You're like, or I think it was your husband. You're like, how'd this get started? And we had the other, pit at my house, which was a much smaller fire pit, and we were kind of just boxed in by 3 pieces of fence and a shed.
Mm-hmm.
And as the podcast took off, and a lot of other podcasts were kind of birthed in the Jersey area, I said I need to switch up the visual when we move, and I need to go big.
Yeah.
And Kelly and I love the mountains. We love the obviously the boulder feel. So I said we're gonna build a big rock and make it feel like a stadium, put like a blue stone floor, and build a huge fire pit.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
It was a lot of work to get going, but
it's worth it.
We're up and running. So the podcast, for some of your friends and family and clients that will watch this, is based on young Ryan being helped. So me turning around and helping the young guy that I was.
Okay.
And I was somebody who was kicked out of school, a little misunderstood, a little troubled, and I didn't really have any guidance on what to do in life and in a career. And as I found some people and they guided me into finance, which I never thought I would be in, I started to say, why don't more people turn around and help? And as I've grown and matured, there is reasons why I do understand people don't turn around and help. Life gets busy and a ton of other things. And when COVID happened and I saw so many people get hurt by this pandemic and forced to take the vaccine, and I'm not against someone if they did or didn't. I'm really not. I didn't do it and my family wouldn't do it, but my wife was a teacher at the time. And she quit because she was pregnant with our daughter, and there was no way that we were going to have her take a vaccine. And I seen so many people's souls ripped out, right? I'm sure COVID obviously affected your business.
Absolutely.
Big time at the time. You're working with weddings and brides and things of that nature. I said, I need to be able to help more people get to financial freedom. It's not that hard to go make $100,000 or $150,000 and replace that income that you're working 50 hours a week for and potentially traveling, 30 to 50 minutes a day, commuting. And I wanted to do that with good people that I knew and people that are quality, family people who love this country. And you are one of those people.
Thank you.
When Kelly and I met you, obviously did the makeup for Kelly and the girls at our wedding. You were just a ball of joy, laughing, saying crazy shit.
All the time.
We were just talking about your cancer you diagnosed yourself with.
Correct. I have a sore throat, so I go on Google, and I am currently dying of esophageal cancer. So forgive me, anybody who has that. I'm very sorry, and I can feel your pain, but
yes. Well, you probably most likely don't have that.
Yeah.
Stay off Google.
Let's
take the computer away from her.
Yes.
You say funny stuff like that, and Kelly has always enjoyed you, and you're over here the other day, and I said, we got to get her on the podcast. So I'm glad to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Are you nervous?
No. I'm nervous about the coyote and the bears. Let's be honest.
We got a little buddy here.
Okay, we're good.
We could take care of things. God forbid we needed to legally protect ourselves.
Excellent.
Allegedly. Got a couple bow and arrows. So tell us about your company and what is the name of it?
So my company name is Perfect Bridals by Christina. And I started my business 10 years ago. And what a lot of my brides don't know is when I was 17 years old, 1987, I was a licensed manicurist in Morristown. And that's how I started. I was doing nails, and one of my clients came in to my job when I was out and said to my boss at the time, listen, I really like the way Christina does her makeup. This is 1987. This wasn't a thing. So she wanted me to do her makeup for her wedding. And I came back into work the following week, and my boss was like, hey, so-and-so wants you to do her makeup for her wedding. Just go to her house, do her makeup, whatever. I looked at her, I'm like, is this bitch out of her mind? I do her nails. Like, what is she even thinking about? She goes, no, you're gonna go. She likes the way you do yours. Just go and do it. Just do it. It's not that big of a deal. So I went, it was a Saturday, it was in town, and I came back and I looked at my boss. I'm like, this is it. This is what I love. I loved it. I loved everything about it. The dress, the flowers, and this and that. And she's like, that's fantastic. You have a mani-pedi waiting for you over there, so get over. So that's how it basically started. Within a month, she had an entire makeup line there. And she was willing to have me trained doing makeup. This is in the late 80s, early 90s.
And what was her name?
Leslie Levine. I love you so much.
Is Leslie still around?
Yes, she is.
So I want to give a little nugget and some love to Leslie.
Yeah.
To see a talent in a young person in your small business and then go and invest. I'm sure it wasn't cheap to bring in those makeup lines. To then say, this is a service we're going to offer.
Yeah.
We're going to allow this young girl who just figured out she likes this.
Yeah.
Like, that's what America is built on. That's small business. That's what this country needs to get back to.
Yes.
And investing in the youth and having those small businesses be able to invest in someone like me and you.
Yeah. It was, if it wasn't for her, I don't know that I'd be where I am now, because it just took that one person to say, I like the way she does her makeup. Again, this was 1987. There was blue, there was green, there was like whatever. It was, but I did it. And I didn't know.
So you had like the big blue.
Oh my God, the big blue wing with the this and the hot pink lips that were like, it was atrocious. But that was the style then. And
it's coming back.
Oh God, please don't let it come back. Please. But let me just tell you, if it wasn't for that moment, I don't know that I'd be where I am right now.
Does Leslie still work?
She's a travel agent.
Travel agent?
Yeah.
All right. Well, give Leslie some love, because obviously she sparked something in you.
Yeah, she really did.
So I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Hit it.
Born and raised in Morristown.
Yes.
By two immigrant parents from Cuba.
Yes.
What did your mom and dad do for a living?
So my dad worked at Lennon Fink, and Lennon Fink is a parent company of Kodak and Lysol. He was the director of facilities. So anything that had to do on the campus, on any of the campuses of Lennon Fink, Lysol, Kodak, my father took care of that.
Where was that?
In Park Ridge. It was right by Florentine Gardens. I go by venues.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the way up the Parkway. My mom retired from banking. She was a bank branch manager at the time of
What bank?
Capital One.
Capital One.
Yeah.
They had banks back then?
They still do.
I know they still do. I didn't know they had like actual branches back then.
Well, when she retired from Capital One, but she went from, oh my God, I can't even remember the banks.
Was it like a community bank?
Yeah, like a community bank. Beneficial. I think that was yeah. I think that was one of the companies she worked for, but she was always in banking and real estate. She did dabble a little bit in real estate with Weichert.
So your mom was a little bit of an entrepreneur.
My mom was a hustler. Both my parents hustled.
Work hard.
Yeah,
They're
my
immigrants.
dad had his own company as well, a cleaning company.
You know what I got to say about immigrants, as I've watched what's gone on over the last 10, 12 years in this country, the immigrants are more patriotic than 50% of the country.
100%.
Because they're appreciative of the ability to come here and go make a living for their family, just like your parents did. They
Absolutely.
didn't come in and complain. They went to work.
My parents, when my mother came here, she was 13 years old. She was one of the original Pedro Pans from Cuba. So she came here on an airplane by herself.
Pedro, is that their name? What's Pedro
That was
Pan?
the Pedro Pans were the children from Cuba that they sent over to
Yes,
the United
got
States. And all these children had to come here without their parents. So imagine being 13 years old, going to another country that you barely knew the language without your parents.
Did she meet your dad in that travel?
No, she met my dad in Chatham, New Jersey. My dad was dating a little gringa in her high school, and he took one look at my mother and was like, that's my wife. Didn't even know she was Cuban. Didn't even know she was Cuban.
He just knew.
They just knew, and then that was it. My mother graduated, and they got married. She was 17 years old.
Parents still around?
No.
No? Sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay. They're in a better place. They're in a much better place.
Good.
Cheering me from the beyond.
Good. That's awesome. And how was the life in Morristown growing up? Give us a little bit of color.
Listen, it was great. There was a lot of color. There was a lot of diversity. There was, the Guidos. There was the sports people. There was, you had everything.
Don't call them Guidos. The Guineas get offended.
Listen, I've got the King Guido right here. The Prince of Provolone is sitting right over there.
His chain's giving me blinding me
I
from
know. With his Italy jacket, of all things,
here.
right?
The Italians, they're proud. I like it.
Yeah, so it was good. It was wholesome. It was good. We had a great time. I'm very fortunate for my.
How much has it changed to what it is now?
It's very business now.
Yeah.
It's very business now. Whereas back then it was neighborhoods and friendships and, everybody knew everybody. Now it's like, do you know this doctor? Do you know that attorney? Do you know this one?
It's almost like a mini city.
Yes, it is. It's very much
a couple
like
really cool bars there. What's it, the Rail?
Rails is in Tuaco. That's in Morris County, but yeah, Rails is very good.
Is that the one that the steak joint on the train line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the cool bar downtown Morristown?
Oh my God, there's so many.
It's huge. It's like indoor, outdoor.
It used to be Pazzo Pazzo.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, Pazzo Pazzo. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had buddies that had an office up there. And a few years back, we used to go up there all the time and like grab a happy hour with clients or something. And I was like,
Yeah.
this place is really cool.
Yeah.
I actually have not taken Kelly there yet because Kelly's from Long Island.
Yeah.
And there's like little pockets like Ridgewood
Mm-hmm.
and Mawa and Chatham and Morristown. These areas that Kelly's not from Jersey. She hasn't had the pleasure.
Oh, she's got to take her to Morristown.
I know. I've taken her to Ridgewood, Mawa. I think we've been to Chatham. I haven't been to Morristown yet. We'll get there.
You got to get her there.
So, were you siblings? Only child?
Well, in my brain, I'm an only child, but biologically, I do have a brother.
You have a brother? So
Yeah.
how was that growing up?
It was there.
I get it. I had a similar situation in my life, too. So, you grow up in high school.
Yeah.
You start to think about college. What do you want to do?
I wanted to go to art school in Manhattan. And my father, ever so supportive, said, you are going to cut hair. You're going to beauty school. You're going to get married. You're going to have children. You're not going to live in the city. That's not happening.
What was he against at the time?
Against me leaving,
Him.
leaving, yeah. Like leaving him. Like, are you kidding me? You're not going into the city.
You're my princess.
Yeah, you
Too
can't do
dangerous
that.
in
Are
there.
you out of your mind?
Sounds like my dad.
Yeah, no. That wasn't a thing. I went, and I did. I went to beauty school. I got married and I had kids. I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Smart guy.
Yeah, he knew what he was talking about.
So you went to beauty school, and then you landed in this.
I landed right into the salon in Morristown. I was so lucky. When I tell you, I walked up the stairs of that salon and I just looked. I'm like, hey, are you guys hiring? In seconds, I was busy. And back then, when I started, it was at the tail end of Reagan's second presidency, right? It was 1987. When I tell you I was 17, 18 years old, making money hand over fist.
And we're about to go on another golden era.
Yeah,
Thank God we got someone in the office that's pro-business and pro-freedom.
yeah.
That's awesome. So you go and start doing makeup. We talked about that
Yeah.
earlier. Now, where did you go from there? Where did you start to do more of the makeup stuff? Give us a little bit of that
So
gap.
I always stayed doing nails because back then, like I said, makeup really wasn't a thing. It was more for the elite. And, you know, if you wanted to do your makeup, I would do your makeup for free. Like, it wasn't a thing. So I continued on, and then makeup started to pick up, I'm going to say late 90s, early 2000s, it started to pick up little by little. And then I started booking proms, and I would book a wedding like in a salon or whatever. And when I moved down to Toms River, I was working in a salon, and I just loved the whole makeup aspect of everything. And I really, really, really wanted not just to keep doing nails, but I really wanted to focus, you know, I wanted to be able to split the time and split my talent doing nails and keep doing weddings on the weekends. And my boss at the time, you know, wished me well, basically. It wasn't in alignment with what she wanted at her salon, which I respect very much so. And I looked at him and I just said, okay, well, I guess I either quit or I got fired. I'm not quite sure which one it is. I don't know what to do. And my husband looked at me and he goes, I'm giving you 6 months. That's it. After 6 months, you got to find a job. Well, in that 6 months, I guess at that 6 month point, my bride made the cover of Contemporary Bride magazine. It's now Contemporary Wedding magazine, but at the time it was Contemporary Bride magazine. And my bride made the cover, and I looked at him. I'm like, well, I think I'm okay now. I think I'm good. I got it.
I want to go back to something you said.
Yeah.
You said you were doing the ladies who you were doing their nails.
Yeah.
Their makeup for free.
I did.
So many people nowadays think that they're just going to go to the top of the game, whether they're doing makeup, finance, landscaping, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. They start looking at that guy or girl that's at the pinnacle of the industry that they're in.
Right.
What did you learn from all of those times doing those ladies' makeup for free?
I learned a connection. That was the most important thing, was a connection with another person. And then I learned that when that person spoke about me, they were speaking about me in a room, and they were speaking about me in that room in a very positive way. So that got me a paying customer. So I didn't mind giving away my work for free, because I knew at that point I needed to start somewhere.
So you were learning people.
Yeah. And eventually, like, you know, you just build.
So this is a nugget that I want to give, you know, using that story.
Yeah.
I literally did this talk today in a mastermind. You have to invest in people.
Yeah.
And investing in people doesn't mean I have to necessarily stroke a check to your charity if I'm a new business owner, I don't have it, or take you out to a really fancy dinner. And all those things are very nice for people that you care about, and they give you business and they send you business. And we all should be doing that. But even as simple as like, hey, I'm going to come do something for you for free that I have a service of. And sometimes people are like, well, why would you do that? You're going to go broke. Because you're building those long-term relationships, and now that lady that you did her makeup for free told all of her girlfriends that she's at the country club with,
yeah,
or at the tennis club with, or at the gym with, or at Pilates with.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think a lot of young people miss in business. They see everything online, the jets, the helicopters, the big houses like I finally obtained. No one saw the hard work that I put in, the free information. I get paid to do the things that I don't get paid to do. Mm-hmm. That's what gets me paid. It's the other value you bring to people.
Yeah.
And you were bringing them value for free.
Yeah.
But giving yourself a ton of lessons.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And that shows your work ethic too.
Oh, well, my husband will tell you, work comes first.
Yeah. I see you run around.
Yeah. Listen, the hustle is not just a dance from the 70s, man.
So now, at this point, you get a bride on the cover of this magazine.
Yeah.
You know, how old are you? Where are you at in your business at that time?
I was 6 months into Perfect Bridals by Christina. I was in Toms River. TR! Yeah, I was in TR.
What?
Yes. And
we're trying to get some TR legends on here, Mr. Frazier.
Oh, yeah. I did his ex-wife's nails. Mm-hmm. Did I do her makeup too? I think I did her makeup a couple of times too.
Todd's he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's done a lot for that community.
He sure did, yeah.
And he's a stud at baseball. And a great announcer now.
Oh, he is?
Yeah. He's an
There you
announcer.
go.
He's done a lot with ESPN. He's got a podcast. I always joke around. I call it foul play. He gets mad at me. But yeah, a lot of great people in Toms River.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just
You
saying.
guys still there, right?
Yeah, we're still there.
Your husband was just showing me the kitchen you're building out. It's gorgeous. You got to do a couple more makeups. You know, we're gonna add a couple things in. It's looking good.
Yeah. He looks at his sugar mama for that.
You're hardworking.
Yes.
You're both hardworking.
Yes, we are, definitely.
And that's what it takes to grow a family. So 2 beautiful daughters.
Yeah.
Your one daughter, which is like, I remember her as like your twin. She looked a lot like you.
Yes.
She came and helped with the makeup for our wedding, right?
Yes.
And
yes.
her name again?
Monica.
Monica.
Yeah, she's 28.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
She started to come and work with you. She took up a liking to it.
So I needed her to work, and I needed her to understand what work was all about. So it was easy for me to bring her and watch, clean my brushes, take things out. I needed her to do that, and I was paying her to do it. Mm-hmm. And just one day, and she was going to college. Let me just rewind. She was going to college to become a police officer. Mm-hmm. She was studying political science and criminal justice. And one day I looked at her, I was running behind because the bridal party was running behind. And I looked at her and I said, stop looking at your fucking phone, pick up a brush, we are running late. And she just, with bright eyes, looked at me, she's like, I don't know if I could do it. And I go, oh, no, you can. Pick up the brush and do it.
Just do it.
And she did it. And I came home, I looked at him, I'm like, I am so proud, I scared the crap out of her. And she did amazing.
Is that back here, Maddie? No.
Oh, God.
Coyotes.
I'm going to throw myself into the fire.
Yipping. Don't worry, we got the bow.
Okay.
Some water guns. So it's funny you say that because sometimes when you're thrown into a pressure situation, mm-hmm. like that's where the diamonds are forged.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like either you perform or you fall on your face.
And she performed.
Yeah.
She decided that criminal justice was not for her, and she went to beauty school for an esthetician, to become an esthetician, and now she works alongside me. She does brides with me, so I'm very proud of her. And she does facials. And
you guys work together as a team?
A lot, yeah. And sometimes we're separate. Like she'll be at one wedding and I'll be at another wedding. But yeah.
all underneath the same company name and stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then my older daughter, she is in the industry as well. She does hair. She's retired.
Good for her.
Yeah, well, she has 3 little babies.
She's got a new job.
Yeah, she's got a new job, a more important job.
For now.
Yeah. Her job is mommy, and she does my emails, she does my social media. She works for her, she'll work with her husband at times, not for her husband, but work with him at his salon. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, it's all in the family. That's all we know.
That's pretty wild. Everybody's in, like, the same field.
Yeah, can you imagine me behind a desk?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
No. Customer service? No.
I can see you being good with customer service.
No, I get annoyed.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
What about what was like your most like bridezilla moment ever? And you don't have to give any names, but just give us like a story. Was it Kelly?
No, my God. That was the easiest bridal party.
So
ever.
easy.
They were like, yeah, no, whatever you want to do, it's okay. That was the easiest bridal party ever. I have to say it was this past weekend, and it really wasn't even the bride. It was her sister and her mother.
Oof.
And they
always seem to be the pain in the ass. So Shannon wasn't a pain in the ass during the wedding, sure?
My God. Shannon was so like, I would have done her makeup 1,000 times. She was just like, love it, do more, love it, put more.
She literally does that. I think she makes that face.
Oh, I love her. Yeah, it's typically the moms.
Everybody's stressed out that day.
Yeah, it's like, or it's the sisters that are still single or in a relationship, million years, the guy doesn't want to get married, and they're miserable.
They're like mad about the day.
Yeah. Like,
what do you say to like maybe, some girl who's going to see this and, maybe we make this a clip. How do you tell them to like be happy for your friends? Because I see that a lot with girls, and I'm not attacking women.
No.
But even like a friend that like someone's trying to get pregnant, and it's taking them longer than like their girlfriend that's pregnant, and they're like kind of mad at them that they're pregnant instead of being happy for them.
The first thing people have to remember is it's not that they're mad; they're disappointed in themselves.
Yeah, things happen.
It happens, and it's going to happen in your time.
Yep.
Everything is happening in the right time. If you're not getting married in your timeline and you're with this guy for years and years and years, that's not your guy.
Correct.
Your guy is out there.
And he's gonna love you.
Yeah, he's gonna love you. You guys are gonna be obsessed with one another. It's gonna be a love like no other. But if you are okay with being with this guy for years and years and years and not getting married, then that's something you have to accept.
Do you feel like a lot of young girls with like the dating apps and social media have kind of like run into a situation where it seems like they're like settling, like they're all like,
No, I think the expectation is 10 times higher because what you see on social media really isn't real life. You're seeing a guy bringing flowers for girls and diamonds and this and that and oh my God, we're out to dinner again for the 12th time this week.
so it's like fake shit.
It's fake.
Yeah, no, it's not even that. They're like, we're going to London for the weekend.
No, you're not going to London.
Okay.
Like, come on. Who goes to London for the weekend? It takes a weekend to get there.
Maybe like trust fund, baby.
I mean, come on. Let's be real. It's fake. So I think that I don't think they're settling. I think they're looking for something that doesn't exist. And that's what girls have to understand.
They've
Like,
almost like kind of run into their own problems.
yes.
Someone said to me the other day, they were, it was an older gentleman actually, and he's like, I was in the city and there's like 40 to 1 guy ratio. It's like there's that many girls out per the guys that
Yeah.
were in this dinner place that he was. It was this rooftop bar or wherever it was. And he's like, it's insane. He's like, I think they have done this to themselves.
Yes.
All right. And I think about my relationship with Kelly for the young women that are out there looking to get married and get their makeup done by you and your beautiful daughter. I think that like we all need to just find that person we can have fun with.
Yes.
Just like have fun and like more specifically like just fucking be yourself.
Yes.
With.
Because it's exhausting
Yeah,
trying
like
to
I'm not
keep up.
trying to keep up with anybody else.
No, exactly. Like I am when I'm with him, wherever we are, I'm at home. Whether it's
You feel safe.
yeah.
You feel yourself.
I'm me. I can be me. I can be psychotic. You know what I mean? Like I can be normal. I can be singing at the top of my lungs and I can do this and I can do that. It doesn't matter. I can do it all and he's okay with it.
Is she good at singing?
You son of a...
Actually, yeah, she has a very good voice.
He's saying that because it's on camera.
He know.
Seriously, I call it like it is. No, she's good. She can do it.
But I mean,
So you say psychotic. Can we like share like the spaghetti story?
absolutely.
So
Where would you like me to begin?
I mean, talk about psychotic. I thought it was a really funny story you shared before we got on. Your husband's a little hyped up, just like all men. We're stressing, we're working, we're taking care of our family. And you wanted him to calm down a little bit, so you made him a little cocktail with his spaghetti.
Yes, so I made pasta and I prepared it. So he was sitting at the table and I prepared it, behind his back. And I crushed up a Xanax and I just put it in with the grated cheese and he ate it. And and I'm watching him eat it. And within 30 minutes, he's like, I think I'm gonna go lay down. And I was just like, this is the happiest day of my life. So he went to bed and he woke up the next morning and I'm sitting there, I'm drinking coffee and he's like, that was the best sleep I had in my entire life. And I was like, really? And I'm drinking my coffee, nicey nice. And he's like, yeah, it was a really good sleep. And he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and like, we're just staring each other down. He's like, what did you do to me? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Now he's bugging again.
No, I have no idea. So finally I told him, like, I crushed up a Xanax and I put it in your food.
That's so hilarious.
And he was so mad at me. He's
I
like,
love
I can't
crazy
believe
people.
you did that. What's next? You're going to roofie me? What is wrong with you? Turns around. I guess he thought about it and was like, wow, that was really good sleep. Thought about it and he's like, do we have more of that stuff? And of course we do.
I would have came back and be like, did you pay the life insurance premium?
That's his job.
Oh, you gave me some drugs. I don't know if you can cook for me no more.
No, listen, I knew what needed to be done and this man needed to relax and I got the job done.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love crazy people. You're crazy. I like that.
You know what? Yeah, I've been called worse, but crazy is good.
Yeah, crazy. There's a very high correlation between insanity and intelligence.
Then I must be smart as hell.
Yeah, you are. You are. You're doing really well. So, when a bride, and predominantly that's what you do, right? You work with the bridal parties. And I know you do some other custom stuff for events and
Yes.
things of that nature. But let's just stay on the bride topic and
Yes.
bridezillas. So a bride is looking for somebody to come in and do the makeup for them and their sisters and their friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what would you tell them to look for in somebody that's in your position?
I always tell people, whether it's the bride or another makeup artist, you have to connect. If the connection isn't there, then you're spending your morning of the most important day of your life, one of the most important days of your life, with someone you don't have a vibe with or you don't connect with. Yeah. So I can be the best makeup artist in the world, and if we don't connect and we're not understanding one another, it's going to be the worst experience you've ever had in your life. Yeah. But me being me, I know I'm not the best, but you know what? I'm going to give you my best, and I'm going to make you feel your best. Yeah. So it's always about the connection.
Yeah, Kelly thinks you're like her best friend. Like,
I love Kelly.
I love Christina.
I
love Christina. You know, she's going to come over and like do the makeup before our photos. I'm like, okay.
I love her. She's my girl.
But that's you, experience and time and being authentic. And that's what I think you do so well. You're like, I'm crazy, you know? Like, I put Xanax in my husband's food. Like, you're just real and authentic. And that's what, like, a lot of people aren't nowadays.
No.
And I'm sure a lot of, like, real people, like my wife and her sister and her friends, like, instantly they love you.
You listen, people are doing it for the gram. That's what they're doing it. I'm doing it for the day. Yep. I'm doing it for your day.
Yep.
And I'm not doing it for Instagram.
It's not about me.
No, it's not about it's not about it. It's not about making the money. I have turned away so many brides because I know somebody else is going to give you a better experience than I am because we're not connecting.
Yeah.
I need you to have the best day ever.
And I'm going to flip that.
Go ahead.
So the girl who's coming up, who's trying to start a business and do what you and your daughter does, how would you also have them fire or not hire a bride? And make sure that they understand that you also don't want to be there and be miserable and not be with somebody that you're connecting with as the person providing the service.
I always I do have this conversation a lot with the girls that I have on my team. I have an amazing, talented team. It's insane. I tell them, if you're not connecting, you're not doing your best. Mm-hmm. You're not giving your all. You're too much in your head. You have to think.
Learn, like, are these girls going to like the makeup?
Yes.
Going to do a good job?
Like, you're not connecting.
That girl over there in the corner seems like a mean girl. Is she going to like me?
And that's exactly what it is. You're too much in your head. You've got to be in the moment with that person, whether it's the bride, the sister, the mother, the best friend, whoever it is. You've got to be in that moment. And typically, I can sense who I'm going to connect with when I'm in that room with those people. And I'll be like, okay, I got her.
Excuse me.
You guys got these two. You know, you'll take these two, you'll take these two. I've got these three. We're good. You know what I mean? And it's not, or I'll just say, I just got the bride. You guys take everybody else. Because I know this experience needs to be good. God bless you. It's the truth.
It's getting me.
It just has to be a good experience for everybody.
So I didn't realize that your team has expanded. How many people are on the team?
I think we're up to, what? 14. 13. 13.
Guys, girls, all
just girls.
All girls?
I would love to have a guy on the team, but yeah, all girls.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I want to get a little bit more into the team and how you become a team leader, to give some advice to the young girl or guy that's looking to go down your path. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
Shut the cameras down, turn it back up, and we'll finish the story.
Yeah.
All right, so jumping back in.
Yeah.
Team of 14 girls.
13.
13. That's a lot to manage.
Yes.
Tell us how you do that, right? Because you have the young girl or guy that's watching, that's looking to build a business like you have. What would you tell them how you manage all those different personalities?
There's so many personalities, and each personality has multiple personalities. You just have to have trust. And you have to trust them, and you have to trust that they're going to deliver what you need, and that they're willing to learn from you, and they're willing to teach you. So it's all about connection.
Yeah.
Everything is a connection.
And being committed to the team.
Yeah, I mean, being committed. And I don't want to say loyalty, because I feel like everyone is on a different team as well, which I think everybody should, spread out, because I can't provide every single wedding every single weekend. Mm-hmm. So be consistent and be available. Be open, be trusting. You know, there's some girls who are like, hey, I'll work with you, but I'm going to pull from another team. I'm not going to call on this team. I'm going to call on a different team. Or, you know what I mean? Like, be trustworthy. Because that's a little shitty.
Yeah, I'm okay with you going and working on another team, but just be straight up about it. Like,
be straight up and don't pull my team into there, or don't pull a client of mine and take it to the other team.
Yeah, if I bring you over here, like, come do the work that I paid you to do. And, you know, just, you know, be stand up.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, just be trustworthy, be willing to learn, and be willing to teach.
Now, how are you marketing yourself besides social media?
Solely social media. I will not waste money on they're fabulous for people who need to start, but I don't waste money on the knot. I won't waste money on wedding wire. None of that. It doesn't bring me the brides that I'm looking for.
Yeah, you're looking to put yourself out there in a certain tonality and put out your work and then have the people be attracted to what it is that you do and who you are.
Yeah.
Again, the connection piece.
Exactly. I put myself on social media all the time. Like, I'll do a story or I'll do something silly or whatever. People want you for you. They want your work.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to tell me, oh my God, I love your work, blah, blah, blah. But it's the person.
And this is another thing I always try to teach people. Obviously, social media has done a lot for me and a ton of people around me. Well, my main business is finance.
Yeah.
And I made money before I did anything online. Online just helped me turbocharge more people who thought like I did, right? People who love their family, love their country, and seeking financial freedom.
Yes.
And that attracts in a certain style of man or woman, because there's only two genders, if anybody forgot. And that allows us to deal with people that I like, and they like me.
Yeah.
And they like my team, because my team is mainly people who are like me. They may not be Ryan's personality to the T, but they believe in the same shit.
Correct.
And anybody who is not being themselves and being authentic is really doing themselves a big disservice, because we start to create all of these fake relationships with people we hate. And at the end of the day, you know who you end up hating? Yourself.
Yep.
Because you become all of these other people instead of just living the life that you desire. I'll give you a quick example about myself. You know, going into the financial services space, I was kicked out of high school in my junior year. It was a mutual separation. Bricktown High School didn't want me, and I didn't want them anymore.
Right.
And at 19 years old, I was racing boats with my good friend Chris Carbone, thanks to his father providing that lifestyle for Chris. And I ran into this gentleman. He said, come into the financial services business. I was working at Lowe's at the time, selling flooring. I'm like, who am I to go into this business? Fast forward, I do it. What do you think I did? I went and bought a suit, and I started playing golf. I hate golf. Golf is gay. It's the gayest sport ever. It's absolutely terrible. And I don't mean gay as in you're gay and the same thing.
No.
Like, it's just like, I'm from Bricktown. I say gay is like gay. Like this your bike is gay.
Right.
Right? And I was being somebody that I wasn't, because I thought that's what I needed to do to be successful. And instead now I'm wearing this funky ass hat that my wife always called me. What do you say this is, Cal?
It's like Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd.
Also, the guy from National Lampoon.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Cousin Eddie, that's it.
Cousin Eddie hat. Actually, this is the guy from Almost Home. That guy Rob is crushing it. Shout out to Almost Home. They gave me this hat. This thing, I saw that thing on the shelf. I'm like, I need that.
Need that hat.
This hat is pimp.
I actually picked it out until I realized I had ear flaps, and then I was like,
Oh, I was even more pumped once I realized I had ear flaps. You know, I gotta keep my ears nice and warm. But like, I can walk around with boots on and ride my quads and work with someone worth $100 million. And I do that now. And I don't try to be anybody but Ryan.
Right.
And I put that out there on social media. So two things. If you're not using social media, you're like the old guy with a beeper when cell phones have been out for 5 years. And the second piece is you better be authentic and as genuine as you could be to you.
Exactly.
And again, you're always going to be finding you as you grow. But eventually you hit your 30s, you know who the fuck you are.
Listen,
be that person.
I'm 55 years old. And let me, shut up.
Really?
Yeah.
Look great for your age.
Thank you.
Must be the makeup.
It has to be the Botox. I am not the same person I was in my 30s.
Of course.
I have evolved, and you don't stop evolving.
Hopefully.
And you don't stop changing. So who you are today, you're not going to be this Ryan in 20 years from now.
If I see growth.
You're going to be an amazing version of today's Ryan. And that's what you have to hope for.
Today?
Today, I think you're fabulous. I think you're fabulous, but just imagine in 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what you have to, and that's another thing I tell my team. So.
And also, when you're starting out in any business, your business, my business, landscaping, whatever it may be, shit takes time. You're not going to go have 13 girls underneath you like Christina has in 2 months.
No.
It's going to take you, getting out there, meeting people, building a relationship, building that connection. Things take time.
Everything takes time.
And I think nowadays we're in this world where we have this instant gratification, and it helps. It hurts people because they give up too soon.
Right, and that's what people need. You need tenacity in this day and age. You have to be able to stick it through, and you have to stick it out, and know that there's something bigger out there. Just wait it out.
Absolutely. When I first started posting, I looked like an idiot. I'm still like an idiot sometimes posting, but I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a production team. I didn't have editors. I didn't have really a vision. I've always been a creative visionary, but I didn't have vision for what I wanted to do here. I had a thought, but I didn't know how to put that into a creative and execute on it. So it was just Ryan turning the phone around and saying dumb things about finance, which most of the stuff I wasn't even allowed to say because I was limited due to regulation. And, you get better and better and better over time because you show up. And then all of a sudden you have a business like yours or like mine, and you're able to go and do great things. I didn't know you had 13 girls. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good. So, rounding this out a little bit, I like to ask two really important questions. The first question is, who are some other people, we spoke about Leslie earlier,
Yes.
in your life that have made a big impact on you personally as a mentor or a family member or a loved one that have helped you in your personal life as well as to succeed in business? And it could be business owners.
My husband.
Of course.
My husband, number one. Down the tree, my parents. My mother, before she died, was my biggest cheerleader. She would repost pictures of mine. She would do everything, biggest cheerleader. My children. Thank God I had 2 girls, because if I had 2 boys, I'd be putting makeup on 2 little boys.
Oh, that would be not good.
I'm just saying.
Although you would fit in nowadays.
Maybe. Our mutual friend, Lauren D'Amelio.
Yeah, she's a rock star.
She is an
Sweetheart.
amazing mentor. The girls from AMA, Artist Makeup School, Makeup Academy. And they are amazing. They taught me a lot to do with business, a lot of social media. Not so much, I did learn some techniques and everything else from makeup, but mostly business with them. And every time they have a business class, I make a point to take that class. But my team, all 13
Can't win
girls.
without the team.
No, I can't do it without them. They're everything. They're my girls. I look at them and, some of them are my daughter Gabby's age, and they're I look at them like they're my kids. I love them that much. So they inspire me, and they propel me to do better.
Teach new things to you.
Yeah, they teach me like, hey, try this. You know what I mean? And I always want to do better for my team. But my inspiration and people who my husband.
It's awesome.
He's crying.
Yeah, is he?
Probably.
Yeah, and that's awesome. You and people like Lauren are able to have the abundance thought process, because I know my wife and I love Lauren to death. She's absolutely amazing.
She is.
I will get her on the podcast. We've talked about it a bunch of times, and she's running and I'm running. And Lauren is like a really, really special person.
Yes.
She is grinded to get to what she has. And a lot of times in business, and especially on social media, especially with women, people become haters and jealous. I've never heard Lauren say a negative thing about anybody, let alone anybody else in your specific space. And more people need to come together and have that abundance. And I'm sure you've helped Lauren with things and given her a tip on something, and she's helped you. And That's really cool to see,
She's-
you thinking that way.
Let me tell you something. Our industry, we have a very, very small industry. Makeup artists, we all know each other. We all need to get the hate out of there and just know we can all support one another. We can all
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. There's a lot of us.
There's a lot of, you don't need to like talk shit on the next girl. or
No,
the
you
next guy
don't
doing
have
this.
to. We can all be inspiring to one another. We can all be like, your work is amazing.
Or how about like someone in North Jersey is going like, hey, I'm so busy.
Yes.
Like, call Christina. She's down in Tom's River.
And truthfully, we all do that.
Yeah.
We all, for the most part, do that.
That's awesome.
It's a very, very, in New Jersey, let me tell you, everywhere you turn, someone's a makeup artist.
Mm-hmm.
They went to YouTube University. Everybody's a makeup artist. Support one another.
Yeah.
It takes nothing to do that.
There's millions and millions and millions of brides out there.
Everybody's getting married.
Yeah.
And I remember I said this to Kelly. I don't care if I lose $20,000 on whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care, because I'm going to make that back. Give me a month. Give me 2 months. I'll have it back. I'm not worried.
That's awesome. Second question. If you were to tell a young Christina or a young Lauren or somebody going into this business, what's the one thing that you would tell them that's most important?
Don't stop. Believe in yourself.
Did you feel at some point in your career you were scared and
Yeah.
thought about stopping?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A million times. But you just have to believe in yourself. And you have to trust yourself.
Keep going.
Just keep going. The one word I can always say is tenacity. Have tenacity. Just keep going. Don't stop. And trust yourself. Have pride.
Yeah. And I think any entrepreneur would say that, like, don't give up.
Never give up.
Elon would say that. Don't give up.
The moment you feel like you're giving up, that's when the next hurdle is coming.
Yep.
So just get there and get over it.
Yeah, and then there's growth.
Yeah.
It's growth that happens there.
Exactly.
Now the next time that hurdle comes up, it's like, sidestep
yeah,
it. It's
who
not
cares?
that big of a deal.
It's nothing.
Well, Christina, this has been fun.
This has been
This
amazing.
is awesome. We talked about how we drugged your husband via
Yes.
spaghetti.
Yes.
We
Yes.
talked about how you're a little bit of a hypochondriac.
Yes.
A little crazy.
I'm a very big hypochondriac. I'm a psychopath. Yes.
How much of a loving woman you are to your family.
Yes,
And
my
your friends.
Yes.
And your employees.
Yes.
And I'm honored to have you. You're
I've
good
loved
people.
being here.
Good people matter to me and Kelly and people at Fireside. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Cheers.
Cheers.